There's going to be a disruption and change in the types of jobs. That's going to impact your customers. That's going to impact your businesses. That's going to impact the future of business.
Your business is suffering because you don't understand how to play the game.
What I do in a given day is I have a set of problems that need to be solved, and I start at the most important and work my way down.
Rise and shine, it's espresso time.
I wake up every morning.
Espresso keep me going.
I wake up every morning.
Hey, it's Evan Carmichael, and this channel was created to help you overcome the #1 challenge that is holding you back, a lack of belief in yourself. So let's start your day off right together. Grab your coffee and sip on today's message from Mark Cuban. Also, if you want to have more confidence, check out my 254 series. It's free. The link to join is in the description below.
I've always been passionate. Some people thought, it's more OCD than anything else.
I focus on things that are AI driven, artificial intelligence driven, whether it's machine learning, deep learning neural networks, medical applications. But within AI is a buzzword that everybody's using right now. And to that point, we as old guys, we go back, and it's like 1995, we talk about the internet. And I would say to people back in 1995, look, if you don't understand the internet, you're not going to be able to do business. And now that's just blocking and tackling. It seems obvious. Back then it wasn't, right? I could even take you further back to my first company. What we did, it was a company called Micro Solutions, and we did local area networks and wide area networks. And I used to walk into companies and say, you're going to have to hook these PCs together at some point. That'll make you more productive, more effective, give you a competitive advantage. And people were like, nah, I'll just carry this floppy from this PC to that PC. Yeah, okay. But today, we're at the same type of inflection point with artificial intelligence. You don't have to be an expert and be able to put together your own neural network. You don't have to know what weights and biases are. But you have to have more than just a cursory understanding. Just like you have to know the difference between, different types of websites, and you have to understand e-commerce if you're in e-commerce. You have to have a cursory understanding of how apps work. You're going to have at least, if not more, a cursory understanding of artificial intelligence, because it will change everything we do. And if the internet was 10x in terms of change to business, artificial intelligence will be 100x or more. A disruption and change in the types of jobs, that's going to impact your customers, that's going to impact your businesses, that's going to impact the future of business. And so I don't want to be, I want to be as clear and as forceful as I possibly can, because as fellow entrepreneurs, we always have to try to look for an edge. We always have to understand how our industry is changing. We always have to understand not only how we differentiate ourselves in our companies, but I always want to know who can kick my ass, right? In all of my businesses, who can kick my ass, and can I kick my own ass first? Because if you can disrupt yourself first, the person who could otherwise do it is not going to do it, and you can compete and be successful. So pay attention to AI. It's important. Right next to my bed, there's a book, Machine Learning for Dummies. If you go into my bathroom, there's deep neural networks for dummies, right? If you go in, there's a something for dummies in every room of my house, It can go two ways, I know, but I'm just telling you, put the time. I mean, I've taken, I can't even tell you how many hours now I spend every week, if not daily, working. Like, I'll go onto Amazon, AWS, and go through their machine learning tutorials. Don't think to yourself, I'm not technical enough, or I'm not going to get this, or I don't get into this, or it's too much. Try it. Get as far as you can, because it's like doing a basic website and a little bit of HTML. Just having done that, you feel smarter and you feel a little bit more confident about this. I don't want to be an alarmist, but I'm trying to scare the hell out of you because it's important.
Every time YouTube updates their algorithm, you should be pumped. Anytime Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram makes an update, you should celebrate. Because this is your chance to win as an entrepreneur. Everybody else who's ahead of you, who've made it on the old algorithm before the update happened, they're complaining and wishing that it goes back to the way that it used to be. It's not going back. And the faster you can get on that train and understand how the new algorithm works, you are going to soar past everybody else. So let me give you a couple examples of me, how I do it personally. One, even you being on this channel, I got advice from Matt Geelan to split up my channel into multiple channels. And so now instead of having one big channel, I've got 8, 9, 10 different channels in different languages now. And it's an experiment. Is it working? I don't even know yet. You know, the growth of this channel has been steady and consistent, but it still pales in comparison to my main channel. I'm testing it out. Is it gonna be the answer? I don't know. Did I make a big mistake? I don't know. We're gonna see, right? The data will prove out, but I'm willing to go off and try it because I know that the way that I'm doing it won't stay consistent forever. And so if it's better to have 3 channels that have 1 video a day instead of 1 channel that has 3 videos a day, I'm open to testing it. I'm open to potentially risking my entire history, 10 years of doing it one way to say, hey, this new thing's coming along. Let's test it. Next, I'm working with a lot of guys like Mark Cuban, not Mark, but others who are at his level, who I think of as thought leaders, but from a previous era. Like Mark should be on YouTube. Where is Mark's YouTube channel? He's missing it. He's missing it. He wants to be a thought leader and he's still writing books. Books are great, but you should be not just on TV with Shark's Tank, you should be on YouTube. You should be on the platforms that matter. And so I work with a lot of guys like Mark, helping them not become dinosaurs, helping them stay relevant on the platforms that matter. And a third quick thing that I'm working on is learning Facebook ads. I did not know Facebook ads before I went on my tour earlier this year. And I came back and I said, I'm gonna learn this because this is important. Because I had a couple of friends help me with it and it helped and it got people to come out to my events. I said, this is a vulnerability. I don't know how to do this. I don't necessarily need to be the world's greatest expert at it, but I need to understand it. I need to know how it works because this is a way of marketing that I don't know about. And so whenever something new comes along, it's gonna happen, guys. The new things that are coming along is only gonna speed up. There's gonna be more new things, not fewer new things. Every time a new thing comes along, you don't necessarily need to be the first one on it. I'm not saying that, you don't have to go off and try everything. But when something new is coming along, embrace it, because this is the future, right? So many people say, well, I'm not on social media, oh, that's for the kids. You gotta get on it. If you're an entrepreneur, you need to be on social media. And not just giving it off to your kid or your niece or your nephew to do. You need to understand it. Doesn't mean you need to be the best at it, but you need to understand it. Because this is not just where marketing is going, it's where marketing is. Your business is suffering because you don't understand how to play the game. So Rome wasn't built in a day, but it didn't crumble in a day either. If you're not on social, if you're not taking advantage of new technologies, your business is slowly starting to crumble. And I don't want that for you. So I'm gonna give you a 3-step process that I use that I think can help you as well. Step number 1 is say it's the best. It's the best. Just teach yourself. Whenever there's some adversity in your life, something negative happening, this is the best. This is your chance to grow, to learn, to become better, to win more business, to make a bigger impact. It's the best. So when an algorithm update comes along or a new technology comes out and you're feeling frustrated because you spent all this time building up this old thing that is now becoming irrelevant, the best. Tell yourself. Because when you're wallowing and complaining and upset and negative and wishing that it used to be something else, you're not being resourceful. What saying it's the best does is put you in a state of resourcefulness. It says, I'm gonna crush this new thing. This new thing is out, it's popping, I'm gonna destroy it, I'm gonna own it, I'm gonna learn everything about it. This is the best. It puts you in a resourceful state. It's super important because when you're trying to solve a problem and you're not in a resourceful state, you're not gonna solve the problem. You're gonna complain and dwell and wait and try to make it perfect using the old way, and you're gonna get further and further into the cave. You're gonna struggle. But as soon as you are facing a problem and you put yourself in that state of resourcefulness, now you're an entrepreneur, you're a genius. You got ideas. You just need to give yourself permission to flick that light bulb on. And you'll come up with solutions, and you'll learn it pretty quickly, and you'll find ways to apply it to your business that your competition is not seeing. That's how you start to win. It's the best. Number 2 is model success. Find people who are doing it. Whenever you don't know what to do, people say, I haven't grown up on social media. Great, I didn't either, right? You didn't grow up with a cell phone either. You didn't grow up liking coffee either. You didn't grow up with a lot of stuff. Amazing. That's the garbage BS excuse for not learning something new. Just because you didn't grow up on it. Amazing. You learn. And so you model success. Find people who are doing it, find people who have won with it, and then see what they did. Model the success. It won't take you all the way, but it'll take you 80% of the way. I recently got asked by Jeremy on my team, who we have a YouTube consulting business together, and he said, are there any young thought leaders that you follow and look up to? And young being like younger than me, so I'm 30, what am I, 39, just looking at the date. There aren't a lot of people who are younger than me that I follow or really care about, because most of the stuff that I'm interested in requires a certain level of experience. But one guy came to mind who was this Instagram guy. And this Instagram guy posts videos on YouTube, and I watch pretty much every video that he puts up. As a thought leader, he kind of sucks. I mean, I need to put every video at 2 times the speed because he takes forever to get to his message. It's super slow. It's just not a great structure for a video because he doesn't know what he's doing yet. It's awesome. It's okay. But he has some Instagram knowledge that I don't have. And so watching him go through, I'll learn something from the video. I'll speed it up to 2 times and hopefully in every video I'll get a nugget that I can use to help make myself better. So being willing to learn from people who don't look like you, being willing to learn from people who are experts at the thing that you want to learn, right? It'll shortcut your path. Again, it doesn't take you all the way to success, but at least 80% of the way. So whenever you don't know what to do, model success. And number 3 is what I call the 2% difference. So the 2% difference is when you first come up with an idea, just take 2% action on it. Don't worry about planning. We spend so much time planning and making the perfect plan and planning how you're gonna get to 100% of your goal. That plan's not gonna work. Nobody's first plan works exactly as they think it will be. The thing that's missing in your business and your creativity and your ideas is momentum. You need momentum. That's the thing that's missing. And so the 2% difference means don't plan to 100%. Instead, take action on the first 2%. Just get started. Don't worry about what the first 2% is. It doesn't make a difference. You're not going to pick the right perfect one anyway. Just start. And so I look at Facebook ads as an example. When I wanted to learn about Facebook ads, I procrastinated for months on this thing. Procrastinated for months. I wanted somebody else to do it for me. I wanted one of my friends to do it for me, and he was pretty good, but not quite what I needed. And I wanted him to be better at it. I wanted him to be better at it so that I didn't have to do it. And because I had this okay option, I never dove into it to learn. And then I just decided, this is ridiculous. This is months of me not learning, procrastinating, putting it off on something that could be really important for my business, something that I need to learn. And if I'm not on top of it, my business will fall behind. And so I connected with another friend of mine who does this for a living, and I met him in New York. We both happened to be in town, and I said, dude, just walk me through it. Just walk me through it. And we spent, I don't know, an hour, 2 hours at a local Starbucks, and he walked me through the basics. And I know enough. Now I know enough to be dangerous. I know enough of what the platform is and how to run different ads and how to create custom audiences and all of this stuff. Enough to actually start. And then through the starting, you learn, you get better, you adapt, you make progress, you improve, right? You get the skills. But it's that first step that's so difficult. Because when you load up the screen and you see something that doesn't look familiar at all, so many options, so many features, it looks overwhelming. Because you're looking at the big picture, looking at the whole plan. Don't worry about that, learn one thing, just start. The 2% difference. Whatever new technology is coming out, social media platform you want to try out, anything, just apply the 2% difference. You can learn something. Learn one thing about that thing today. Make progress. It'll make a huge difference. Now I've got a special bonus clip that I think you're going to enjoy, but before that, question of the day, I want to know, what new tech are you procrastinating on learning that you're going to do something about this week? Let me know in the comments below. And if you like this video and you're going to take some action after watching it, give me a hashtag believe down in the comments below too.
I like to say my management style is problem solver in chief. And so what I do in a given day is I have a set of problems that need to be solved, and I start at the most important and work my way down. And for the problems I don't have time for, somebody else gets to solve them. Now, if somebody's already solving a problem, I don't need to get involved if the problem's getting solved. But you know, people go, "Wow, so your day's just full of problems." I'm like, "Yeah, I've got a lot of problems." But it's sort of like how a math professor thinks of problems, right? Is that, think of a great math professor who has no math problems to solve. He's a very sad math professor. And so that's very much how I look at it. Solving problems is every problem is an opportunity for innovating and being creative and finding something new. And that's what I love to do, and I do it every day.
If you want to know how Mark Cuban takes risks and goes for it, check out the video right there next to me. I think you'll enjoy it. Continue to believe, and I'll see you there.
I literally was putting everything that I had on the line for something. People just laughed at me.